Well, welcome to the third evening of the 2025 Australian Open. Of course, we're at Melbourne Park for the 38th year, and this evening we get to see the #1 Aussie in action, Alex de Minaur. He'll be carrying the flag for the home hopes. They have a strong contingent to the Aussies on the men's side, 14 in the men's main draw this year. But boy, what a good 2024 season did he have. And he'll be hoping to push the envelope a little further here than he has ever done before. But the man standing behind him is a man who's got some serious firepower and will not be intimidated on the biggest of stages. Just Carlos Alcaraz, Botic van der Zandschulp dismantled at the US Open last year. He can take on the very best comfortably.
He's moving up to his nickname of the Rocket.
The names are John Newcomb and Jimmy Connors.
The new Australian champion, Margaret from Sydney.
Congratulations to Brian for winning the Australian Open. And that's the man who wins it.
Against Matchlander.
Games match career.
Sampras has won the title, his 9th Grand Slam.
The men's singles champion, Yevgeny Kafelnikov.
Agassi is the champion.
A sensational 6 for Federer down under.
Novak Djokovic.
Champion of Australia for a 10th time, Jannik Sinner, his maiden major.
This is men's singles first round action. Please welcome from the Netherlands, Botic van der Zandschulp. And their opponent, world #8, Alex de Minaur.
Oh, what a warm welcome for the top-ranked Australian. And when the draw came out and he saw that Botic van der Zandschulp was his first round opponent, he would have been well aware of the potential banana peel that this could be, because he's got some serious firepower, and I think what he has somewhat belies his ranking of 84. He loves the big stages and he loves being the underdog, does Botic. And of course the weight of a nation rests on the shoulders of de Minaur. It's going to be a fascinating encounter, one where a guy is so shrewd in his game plan, and in Botic you have a player who has got so much firepower.
We have Rafael with us. Can we start with a photo, please? Photo, please, with Rafael. This side, please. Same conditions, just a reminder that we have the 10-point tiebreak at the final set. If you can be blue for the towel boxes, please, and you will be red for the towel boxes. Just a reminder that the ball kids are not handling the towels, all right? And we have the live ELC holding everything, including the footfolds. Questions?
An extra towel and a banana?
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? No? So Rafael wanted me to ask you, Alex. So we have the player or AO?
I'll go AO.
AO? So you do the coin? The player? Receive? Good match. You take the coin? Good job, huh?
Short
And then
backswing
you need
there
to go out there.
from Rafael on the coin toss, and I think perhaps showing us he's favouring those short strokes of the Aussie that he would look up to. My name's Robbie Koenig, delighted to have John Fitzgerald alongside me, and of course courtside we'll check in with Roger Rashid a little later. Good evening, Fitzy.
Good evening to you, Robbie. Yeah, well, look, another perfect evening in paradise for us. It's such a treat to be here to see the standard of tennis that we get to witness every day during this Australian Open. There is some firepower and there's some speed on this court as well.
Yeah, he's got horsepower, this guy. And when he wants to play and he's in the mood, he can be very dangerous. He's made the third round here back in 2022. But he can be up and down. Can Botic. It's probably been his Achilles throughout the course of his career. But he enjoys playing on a hard court and he moves like a panther. Very different movement patterns that we'll see from these two. Lots of short steps from Minaur. Short ground strokes as far as the backswings are concerned. Much more compact versus the guy on the other side of the court. He's currently ranked 8th in the world, is Minaur. What a season he had last year, Fitzy. Winning titles on different surfaces, beating Ruud in Acapulco for that 500 ATP title, and Korda in Hertogenbosch on the grass. And it was so unfortunate that he got injured at Wimbledon after that great match against Artifice.
It was unfortunate. An extraordinary year when you look back on it.
Yeah, I actually did that match with Todd Woodbridge, our good friend, and I called the match point and I was just about to give it some energy, and the reaction when he hit that angle volley winner, it was just nothing, and he knew straight away it hurt his hip, didn't he?
Yeah, well, I look back and I think this guy got to number 8 in the world, Alex de Minaur, and he almost played half a season. So it was an extraordinary effort. He made the ATP Tour finals. And he spent the last 6 months of the year battling that hip injury that he sustained at Wimbledon. What a year he may have had if that hadn't occurred.
47 match wins last season, and as Fitzy alluded to, missed a lot of the year. He missed all the way from Wimbledon to the US Open, and interestingly, when he came back, he made the quarters of the US Open. Quarterfinals of Wimbledon, quarterfinals of US Open, didn't play a match in between. And in his best other season, in 2022, he was able to play a full schedule. He also won 47 matches that year. It is a stellar evening. Second day in a row after having rain on Sunday. We have been blessed with absolutely perfect weather, perfect conditions. And I'm not sure if conditions are perfect here in the comms booth as well as courtside, because I feel like I need a visa to join this gang. I've got a South Australian on the right side of me, and I've got a South Australian courtside as well, and Roger Rashid. What's going on here, Rog?
Robbie, good evening, everybody. And well, this is what's going on. You can hear that. That's the roar for Alex. And you know, when you're in a mounting yard and you look against some well-prepared horses, race horses, well, that's Alex, I think. You know, I like the way he's prepared for this summer. He looks stronger, and he talks about that as well, the way he diligently prepares himself. Beautiful conditions. I'm looking forward to Botic, though, to watch him play, because it comes out with a calmness about him, and which means he's prepared and he's able to play in this environment. And we've seen that, as you mentioned, guys, against Alcaraz, that stunning win that he had there. So firepower, as is with Fitzy, and let's see if he can play a level of tennis which Alex demands from you to get a result.
What do you think this matchup is going to be like?
Well, I think matchups are the secret to successful tennis matches for the watchers of those games. So I mean, it provides, I think, a beauty when you get different matchups, and that's what you generally get with de Minaur, because he's a counter puncher, he's a quick retriever, but he comes into the net a lot, he transitions, so he's got an all-court game, and you see different styles of points. And tonight, I'm hoping it's a perfect matchup, because Botic is such a powerful player. He'll have to try and hit through de Minaur, I would think. So, as a vision, it's got potential. Oh, by the way, we might be two South Australians, but you've got South
African
behind your name as well. So we're Southern Hemisphere guys, Robbie.
Oh, thanks for giving me the visa, boys.
He just wants to be one of us, Fitzy. That's okay. You can share tonight, Robbie.
Yeah, always look forward to working alongside you two.
You know, I haven't seen Botic play anywhere near as much as I've seen Alex de Minaur play. So I'm really keen to see him at his best. I know he finished off the year strongly. I just wonder how he's going to go after de Minaur, whether he is going to try and go through him with the power. Because in terms of foot speed, there's not many better than the young Australian.
You're certainly bang on. He does have the firepower. He's a shot maker, but an Alex de Minaur, I think you've got one of the ultimate disruptors. The variety that he brings to center stage can often discombobulate opponents. The best Australian in action this evening on Rod Laver Arena. What a season he had. Made 3 finals, won 2 of them. Came second to Sinner in Rotterdam. Leighton on the right, and on the far left his longtime coach, the permanent man in his team, Adolfo Guterres. Speaking of South Australians, we've also got Darren Cahill to deal with. Of course, coach of Jannik Sinner, has been for a while, his DC. Perhaps one of the most improved shots throughout the 2024 season, Roger, and I see you nodding your head there.
Yeah, I was just about to say that serve is probably the one that sticks out for me. You know, if you remember 2 or 3 years ago, the power that he actually, and the heaviness of that serve now that he has. So there's another way that Alex has been able to win points throughout the course of the 24 year.
Yeah, together with Jannik Sinner, much was spoken about their respective serves, how much they had improved, and the number of free points that they were getting on it. And for someone who has to work so hard generally behind the service game, what a nice reprieve it was for the Demon. And we're going to deep dive with some of those numbers. The 29-year-old Dutchman to get his Australian Open campaign underway.
Well, he's a flat hitter of the ball, is Alex de Minaur. In fact, the backhand is really flat, but the forehand also flatter than most at the top end of this sport. But he's very accurate. There's a great man, one of the great Australian players ever, Tony Roach. French Open champion.
I think one of the reasons he actually plays well on big stages, Botic, is he has a very calm demeanor about him.
13.
Clearly a nervy start. A couple of free points, easy ones. And against one of the best returners on tour. It's not what you want. And the guy who sits in the penthouse of the return leaders in the last 52 weeks breaks at the first time of asking. No one has returned better than Alex. When you have a look back at the 2024 season, and then you couple that with the fact that he is serving better, it's a double whammy, Fitzy.
Yeah, he's deliberately tried to serve faster. He's trying to get that serve to be bigger and heavier. It doesn't have to be the biggest serve on the planet. He's just trying to continually improve. Well, he bases his tennis around that style. He's an all-court player. I love the way he comes in with his off forehand, because he knows how to flatten that ball out. And when you flatten it, he probably didn't know he was going to hit that one as well as he did, because his body weight was going backwards. But when you flatten that forehand, it goes through the court and allows his speed to come in and take advantage of that position.
Up about 16 kilometers an hour on the serve in the last 3 years when we're having a look back at the Minaur delivery.
He started with confidence, hasn't he?
And that service speed is, that addition is, you know, that's an evolution of his physical development, because he's now got that power, he's got stronger legs, he powers up into the ball. So that's just a great evolution of someone who's done the work and got rewarded.
A bit of his own medicine. And the Zandschulp there changing the play. Getting the first good hit in the rally. For the first time, he really puts de Minaur on the back foot.
Both these players so good at recognizing when they've got their opponent in trouble. And so quick at moving forward. The first 2 steps are powerful. Always looking to take that volley while it's above the height of the net. How about that for some foot speed?
Yeah, we've been dwelling on the foot speed of Alex de Minaur, but how well did Botic move in this point? And of course he'd have power on the stretch. Look at that.
What a camera shot. Dynamic balance.
Lift the wages of that cameraman. How good's that?
Team effort, that is. Didn't miss too many backhands. That guy on the right of screen was a shot that was forged in steel for Leighton. Could trade backhand cross courts with anyone for as long as he wanted to.
Well, Roger Rashid was coaching him for a while, Robbie. So don't talk too loudly. You might take credit for that backhand if you're not careful. Had a lot to do with Leighton over the journey. Our partner in crime here, Roger Rashid.
The most noticeable thing at ground level is the easy power that the Dutchman has. It just comes off his racket so easily and fast. It's heavy too, Fitz.
He is a strong boy. Make a good centre in rugby.
He's quick too, Rash. He was there easily. In fact, he probably got to that ball at the top of the apex.
Yeah, 100% he did, and he should have used his two-hander.
Well, it's a miss that he'll regret a little bit, but good foot speed to get there and anticipation.
It's a very important hold, just to keep Van der Zandschulp at arm's length early doors. 3-love for the Aussie. It's always nice to get a 360 view of technique and what the players might be doing in and around the net. Just before he makes contact. Is he making contact with the ball in front of him there, Fitzy?
I think so. And he transfers his weight. He's got very good technique on the ball. He doesn't miss many.
What about this one?
Not a lot wrong with that either. Both beautiful backhand volleys. throwbacks, in fact, or nearly. They've spent more than their fair share of time at the net to develop that technique.
Time.
Well, Botic van der Zandschulp is playing in his 5th Australian Open and his 17th appearance at a major. Just to put that into perspective, Alex de Minaur is playing his 30th overall at a major, so a lot more experience. He's playing at home, and he's got the wind in his sails early on here.
I think the big difference in this match when you look at when Botic played Alcaraz at the US Open is Alcaraz does give you some free points. He can come in and out of the tennis matches as good as he is, whereas Alex he's ruthless, isn't he? Through the rally, so you're a lot more accountable on a tennis court.
Top returner last year, and you can see why. The ability with those short backswings to glue a return to the baseline.
Yeah. And the flatness of the shot, Robbie, contributes to that ball going deep.
More break points for him.
Wonderful tennis, and it starts with the return. I can see, Robbie, you've done your homework as ever and know what sort of a returner he is. But it is the flatness of shot. I mean, he gets the ball deep invariably, and that complicates matters for a guy who's just served and then is recovering.
Well, Fred Hammes is Botic's coach. Not the start that they would have wanted.
Well, he actually got the volley, I think, that he wanted. He was maybe a fraction off balance. Alex there, he sort of ran through that volley, didn't get a solid base, and probably had an erratic racket face because of that. He was really in motion in the air, wasn't he? And he didn't quite get the racket face in the position he wanted.
And just for illustration, you can see there the amount of spin Van der Zandschulp has on his ground strokes versus de Minaur much lower.
14.
About 500 reps per minute lower on the forehand side for Alex. 460 on the backhand. It's a significant amount.
So what that probably means in layman's terms is that
40,
the forehand of Alex de Minaur gets from A to B quicker sometimes because there's less spin. But the spin creates heaviness as well, doesn't it? It takes a fraction longer to get to the other end, but it has more margin for error, spins more, and when it hits the ground, it takes off as well. So it's a different type of ball.
It's been a shutout so far for the Australian. 5 games played, 5 games to his name.
It's time for 2 lucky fans to experience the Challenge upright to Philippine States victory Grand Slam champions Ash Barty and Matt Arthur. From here, you'll experience more. So, let's find our lucky winners. And there they are.
Go the Demon. Aussie gold.
Well, he loves playing for the green and gold. We know that, Alex de Minaur, and a lot of Australians find that very enlightening. That's why they love this kid. He does everything right. He says the right thing, and he's a good person. Wants to play for his country.
And of course, he led Australia to back-to-back Davis Cup finals in 22 and 23.
Speaking of Davis Cup finals, his opponent tonight played a pretty major role in the recent one.
That's right.
I didn't expect to see this scoreline early, Robbie.
I'll tell you what, I didn't either. But I said to Rog, you could either see something very good and explosive from Botic, or, given the type of tennis that de Minaur plays, he could be the major disruptor.
I wouldn't go anywhere, though. There's a lot to play out you would expect in this match.
That's a good second.
13 love.
Isn't it funny how some players almost sprint between points? Some walk at snail's pace. Quietly, reserved. And when the point starts, off they go.
See how early de Minaur takes that. So good, the short, compact backswings that he has. It's a key ingredient in his game, taking the ball on the rise.
On the Zandschulp.
Okay.
Minaur leads by 5 games to 1.
He's up and running. Look of annoyance towards his coach there. Third game, he had a chance to get back into it. Fred Hamas on the right there.
left.
Serving well, returning well. That's a recipe for success. He's only lost 3 points when he's landed the first serve.
I think we'll see the intensity in Botic fire up a little bit early in the second. It needs to.
And especially with that backhand side, he's made a lot of unforced errors, basic errors off of it.
I think the scoreline right now would be affecting that intensity a little bit, possibly.
Well, that was clean from the Demon. It's a strong start. He gives up just one game in the opening set. It took only 26 minutes. Sets stats dominated in yellow highlight the good stuff. Alex de Minaur's numbers. You can see the first serve points won for Zandschulp, a lowly 44. That's what happens when you're taking on the best returner in the business right now, certainly in the last 52 weeks.
He was pretty clean, wasn't he? 4 unforced errors for Alex in one set of tennis is a low number. But he can do that to you if the matchup is good for him, and he doesn't get blown away early. He really can take it to an opponent. I love his all-court style. And he always accelerates, you know, through the forehand, which I like. He doesn't get tentative too often on it. And uses it to come forward then and finish points at the net. So he's got a few weapons. Just not a heavyweight. He's a featherweight that's awfully quick.
Well, as beautiful as that opening set was from an Australian perspective, this site might even match it, if not be a little bit better. The Yarra River just snaking its way past Melbourne Park. We've had two beauties of a day, both yesterday and today.
Well, there's a sign of what this man can do.
lap. Let's
You know, they both get on with it too. Gee, I love that. Minaur plays quickly. Even though Botic walks slowly between points, he gets to the line in plenty of time and just plays.
Oh. 15-0.
Big second serve there.
40-10.
Needs a good start. Fred will breathe a little easier, won't he, if he gets on the board early here.
Well watched.
From the Zandschulp. First game, second set.
Rog, is it a case of any major overhauls that need to be made by Botic, or just try and do what you normally do a little better? That would be a good starting point.
I think you got to first give credit to Alex for the way he came out. 4 unforced errors, and that the way he returned was exceptional, as you said. I like the way he returns through the middle of the court. He doesn't try and change the line of where the balls come to him. That's why he's so effective as well. But so I think more of the same. He's now on the scoreboard. He's ahead of the count. Let's just see what that looks like. But I don't think there's a major overhaul, because you've got to respect the fact of how well the other side of the court was looked after at this stage.
I wonder if Zandschulp feels pressure from the fact that he knows Minaur is going to come in if he gives him an opportunity. He might be just feeling a little tense, because anything short, Minaur will take it on his forehand, go off and come in. Occasionally the other way, but generally the forehand the other way, inside in, won't be to follow it in. It'll be more to try and hit a cold winner or an unreturnable.
40-11.
So I'm sure it's in the back of Botic's mind that the Australian's going to come forward if he presents a shorter ball. Good game. Well, he looks in good form, Alex.
He's hitting the ball very pure out here. Fitzy, it's all coming out of the middle. The only thing I could think for the Dutchman is to actually start to fire a few down the line. Take a little bit of risk and go line for a little bit. Don't be that cross-court ball striker early. Take a few risks down the line.
Particularly on the backhand wing, or both?
Both. I'd fire a few down the line. Just so, with his heaviness of ball, if he gets that right, he's got Alex not in a position where he can be proactive on the ball and be looking forward as he also fits.
You get him defending more if you can make a few of those back to back.
30-11.
what a point from Minaur.
So I guess that's my case in point right there. And the drive puts you 100%. But Alex went down the line with his forehand, then went down the line with his backhand. So it just changed the way that the storyline at that point.
Tell you what, he has made a boatload of backhand unforced errors.
Yeah, this ball's coming back quickly, and it backs up what you say, Robbie. I mean, his returning is so good, Alex, and he can take it early. And you don't have to hit the ball hard if you take it earlier, because there's 2 meters less the ball's going to travel. A meter each way. And he's back on the...
Oh, the speed demon putting just another ball back in play.
And that body language is not great, is it? That's a player saying, what do I have to do to beat this speed of foot? Didn't do a lot wrong there, Van der Zandschulp, but he just overplayed the last one. But what retrieving from the Australian. Yeah. Boy, did he need that right then.
That's how good it's got to be.
Not much de Minaur can do there.
Oh, I love the fake move as well there. Like he was going to come in. You can so often make your opponent change their swing. I remember doing a match with Jason Kubler and Dan Evans at Wimbledon a couple of years ago, and Kubes did that so well, would fake like he was going to come in, then he didn't, then he would follow it in. And it's not easy to unsettle Dan Evans. He is a disruptor himself, but on that particular day, it was a tactical masterclass from Kubler. We're seeing similar sort of stuff from de Minaur. Tactically, he has got it spot on so far. I'd love to get another early break right here, right now. If you're interested to know.
Advantage, the minimum.
The break points converted are for the top 3 returners of last season. Alex was top at 45.5%, and Alcaraz 42.7, Sinner 42.3. So there's a fair bit of gap there between de Minaur and Alcaraz. Almost 3 full percentage points. And he's going to add to that number. Just rock solid.
Leads by 2 games to 1.
Leads by sets and a break in his opening round here at the AO. So a quick look at the rally hit point of both players. Have a look at that top number, 11%. That's balls taken inside the baseline. That's the number we're really going to focus on. That was the Dutchman. Look at de Minaur. 31% of the time, 20% more than his opponent. He's inside the baseline, taking the ball on the rise. And of course he does make those forays forward as well. But it's exactly what Fitzy was talking about. The fact that he rushes opponents into error, makes them uncomfortable. He's got that ability to come forward as well, Fitzy.
Yeah, and he's so good and clean on his feet that if the ball needs respect, he can get back quickly so that he doesn't have to half volley if he doesn't need to. And then when the ball is shorter, he moves forward instantly. I used to see Federer do that magnificently. What a mover. Back when he needed to be, forward when it was time to attack.
Well, a strong Australian men's contingent this year, 14 in the main draw. And their leader is off to a fine start here.
Oh, it's twice he's done that move so well forward to a short ball. And then made a mess of it into the tape. He deserved better than that. His movement was beautiful up to that short ball. Feels like, Roger, from up here that de Minaur's exerting so much pressure every point. The ball's coming quickly back to Botic, and he looks rushed.
Yeah, there's that. And Fitzy, courtside, he's playing as pure as you'd like someone to come out of the blocks for a first round match. I mean, it's just coming out of the middle. He's not making mistakes. So where's your breathing room, you know?
Rash, I just don't want him to peak too early. Come on. Oh, what a shot. What a shot there. That's knowing where your racket face is.
De Minaur leads by 3 games to 1. Second set.
I think in this part of the world they say that's a beauty. An absolute beauty.
You're catching on with that saying very nicely, I must say, Robbie.
You've got to bring it when you come down under.
Well, how about the first half volley too, by the way?
Incredible, incredible.
Well, he did well there, did Botic, to win that point, but it looks like in most of these points that Minaur is controlling the ball more. He's moving the ball around, making Van der Zandschulp move more than he is.
From the baseline, it's a non-contest. And for the match, what do we had? 32 baseline rallies. Demons won 24 of them. That's how one-sided it has been when rallies have unfolded.
You know an old Australian tennis coach from these parts called Bob Carmichael. He's not with us anymore. No wags. He would have loved that lob. Just loved it. When you were out of position, you need to get back in the point. Throw the lob high, you would say. Get it up higher.
That's nails. That's nails.
And invariably, you can win points with that play.
The Minaur leads by 3 games to 2.
Setting a break for Alex.
Time.
It's been a good start in both sets for the Demon. And you can see that when he gets the early break, and that constitutes a break within the first 4 games, Demon goes on to win the set 87% of the time. It's 6 percentage points above the tour average.
Well, the percentages are with him then at the moment, with a set in hand and then 87% chance on average to win the second if he leads by break. They're big odds. Oh, yes. Well, it's dangerous on a hard court, isn't it? You take the speed off a volley like that and it sits there. He took the speed off to try and increase the angle here, Minaur. So he can't hit this one super hard. He takes the speed off to try and make it die over the net, but not good enough, and that was better. Oh, he doesn't miss that often. Okay. An opening, an inch of daylight here for the Dutchman.
A little bit of breeze has picked up, so Alex is having to work a little harder up that end, and it generally pushes to the backhand wing on this court.
Yeah, the unforced errors from Botic are just mounting, and of those 24, 14 have come off his backhand side. Okay, this is the first blip we've seen on the radar for Minaur. The first look at a break point for the Dutchman. Pretty basic. And
gee, you don't see that often, do you, Robbie?
No.
He rarely misses that forehand approach.
A couple of gifts in that game.
Yep. Let's let the Dutchman back in.
Yeah, Minaur. In the entirety of the first set, he only made 4 unforced errors. In the opening 6 games here, he's almost got double.
Yeah, right. He's got a good attitude, though, hasn't he? See him put that behind him so fast. You need that in sport.
And I guess this is what I was talking about, it not having to think about having wholesale changes, but there was going to always be a time when the high was going to come off a little. And we're, as you said, we're getting it right now. Let's see if you can capitalise.
Of course, he gets a lot of British support now these days, does Alex de Minaur. Get some big results last season. We really highlighted that for the Demon, but perhaps his biggest result was off the court, Fitzy.
Don't throw me under the bus there. He's, yeah.
Getting engaged to Katie Bolter.
Yeah, nice young lady in his life.
Well done.
Good player, by the way.
Yeah, Katie had a nice ranking move last season, 54. She started 2024, ended at rank 24. And I think Dima's taken some of the assist there.
Is there a combined men-women partnership ranking? That'd be 30.
That's right.
32. How's my mathematics? Good serve.
14-13.
He's quietly trying to edge his way back into this match, isn't he? And succeeding.
I think if he can put this game to bed right here, right now, he'll be in a good space mentally. He looks like he's decelerating on some of those ground strokes to me. What are you seeing down there?
Yeah, and off that one definitely, and you know and he's a bit too much cross court for me, boys. That's he hit that. There was an earlier point where he went heavy up the line, got a result. I still want to see a little bit more usage of that play.
Well, that one wasn't coming back.
Advantage from the Zandschulp.
A lot of aces to his name, is there? But there's a lot of his serves that are coming back like that, or not coming back at all, but not necessarily clean aces. I think he feels like he's serving pretty well to me.
Legs. Second serve.
Minaur better, just a few percentage points better on the first serve.
Botic is back in business. A couple of games on the bounce, and he gets his nose out in front in the second set to lead 4-3.
Time.
Well, the Dutchman's back in town in this set. He's done it quietly, Roger, hasn't he? But he's still in this second set now, and a threat.
Absolutely.
shot him though. By heck, Alex de Minaur, he's quick, isn't he, Roger?
That speed which he was able to get up to, those initial first couple of speed steps to recognise and then power. There's the power, and he, as you said, he got up there with a lot of time to hit over it. It's got to be a little better than that.
Well, a hard court accentuates the bounce, so it's got to be perfect on this surface.
13-11. Game de Minaur.
Okay, so
4 games on, second set.
de Minaur stops the rot at 3 games on the bounce.
This will be a hard game to hold, I think. But, you know, it's amazing how quickly, Fitzy, you said it, Alex gets back to work very quickly, made a few unforced errors. Tight game there, but this is pressing up against the breeze. Let's see how aggressive in nature Botic decides to be here.
Do you think that had an effect on Alex's previous game, though, serving into the breeze?
Yeah.
It's popped up, has it? Fairly brisk?
It did pop up, and it comes in and out a bit, but it's definitely got a little bit going.
Okay. It's a frustrating miss, isn't it, when someone hits that slice too deep? That should be a shot that's ingrained. I mean, he looked like the technique was good and he had plenty of time, just overplayed that one. What a waste.
That's great athleticism from both, by the way.
15.
I'm not sure he thought this ball was coming back, though, this volley. He closes beautifully. He probably thought that was going to be a winner, but not against de Minaur. You've got to hit another one.
It's a pretty good hop from the Dutchman. Got up there well.
Well, that'll please Roger Rashid. Take a bit more risk, go to the line. That's where there's more risk, but you can get more reward if you're good enough to make it.
Well, he's been bullied in so many of the baseline rallies. There's no reason why he shouldn't try that.
That's you.
His 4th double fault, I think, but untimely.
Let's proceed.
break point for Minaur.
Well, the velocity that Botic hit those ground strokes leads me to believe he's frustrated. He feels like he's just got to smash the ball to get it past him, or particularly from that southern end if there's a bit of breeze there. He just looks a bit aggravated, doesn't he? Like he needs to go for more power, and that contains more risk, or involves more risk.
Please. Please.
It's more like the ground stroking I would expect from Zandschulp. I think he's been very tentative this evening. That's one of the few rallies where he's gone after a couple of shots.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's very disturbing for both players when you're screaming just before the service motion.
So a little reprimand from the central umpire. That was between first and second serves, which made it a little dicey for the Dutchman. He did well.
Very important hold. He's done well there. He's held his nerve and his serve. It's down at 5-4 second set. First set, Minaur. Well, we were talking about the athleticism of these two guys. You've got to be able to do everything in the sport. The dynamic movement, the ability to lunge, put balls back in play. Those first 4 steps so important when going forward. But what about how you move back, and then the hop that you can get whilst going back to hit the smash. Look how close to the net he is to hit that volley, and then his first 2 steps so important. Some decent elevation right there, and boom! Dexterity in the wrist just to pop that away. All happens so quickly. And that's the beauty of that camera. It just showcases everything. Oh, the brilliance and the raw athleticism of these tennis players. We've seen some very different athleticism from both in this match so far, and maybe I'm biased, but I don't know if there's a tougher sport out there when you throw it all in the melting pot. When you talk about the skill set that tennis players have to have, the athleticism.
I love your bias.
And
can't disagree.
Roger, I know you follow a lot of sports. Tennis has got to be right near the top of the pile, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Full 360 game, and let's see now if the Dutchman can get after this. I'd want him, if I was coaching him, I'd want him to get after this first point. Really, really hunt it. Take a risk.
Oh, he's played well. What a lob. That took feel and guile.
Love
Thought Alex's tactics there were left a little bit to be desired. He came in on a strange ball and then went for a drop volley that caused this.
I mean, how quick was the Dutchman to get up to it, right?
Yeah.
Still had a lot of work to do once he got there. Impressive.
He's 191 centimetres, you know. So that's 6'3" in the old language. He's quick. Big and strong too.
Yep.
Love 30.
Well, when he was up a break, Robbie, we talked about 87% chance he'd win a set on average.
Now when he gets that early break.
This would be an interesting turnaround here if he doesn't hold this game. Surely. Robbie, sorry I cut you off. Off the line. Gee, that must have been the outside of the line. Well, there he goes. Can count himself a little unlucky there not to be up 2 set points.
Well, you spoke about risk, Rog. Fortune favouring the brave on this occasion. Using the full length of the court.
And right there, just comfortable hitting the ball back. Wasn't overplaying, went for one down the line, but just was actually saying to Alex, go on, force it through me. Take a cut at the ball. Tempted him and made the mistake.
He's clawed his way back into the set as the Dutchman, and he's earned himself a set point.
Well, he uses a play that I personally don't like so much, going across court and running forward, but he made the Dutchman stretch so far with that approach on the forehand that it works. Horses for courses.
Creativity. Thy name is Botic.
Advantage Van der Zandschulp.
He's done so well here. It's great shot. He knows he is so close to getting right back into this match and leveling it up. He's got a second chance to do just that. Quickly snuffed out. And perhaps some frustration in that come on. 213 kilometers an hour, that serve. That might be his fastest of the match on his second set point down.
I'll tell you what, I love how calm Fred Hammes is, though, sitting in the chair there on his own, just watching his charge and not letting any of his emotions cause panic in his boy. Looks as relaxed as you could be. A big part of the match there, Robbie.
Yeah, a bit of Aussie gold to close out that 10th game. And he had to dig deep. He was brave and he was rewarded for being so. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. He's just missed it.
There's something exciting about fleetness of foot in an athlete, isn't there? Goodness me, that was quick. I know he missed it, but it's made me chuckle.
Yeah, I think there's a reason why the 100-meter dash is the blue ribbon event at the Olympics.
Minaur would be good at the 1500 too. Go at a high pace and then gun it at the end. He's hanging in there, isn't he?
30.
And Zandschulp being very brave here in this set. Has come back to give himself a realistic chance. Beautiful serve volley. Great change up.
40-30.
It's amazing how close he gets to the net for this first volley.
He's a good athlete, isn't he?
Juice.
So clever. So subtle and clever from Minaur.
Advantage, the middle.
You know, against most players, that approach shot would probably work. But look how he gets over there, gets the ball low, makes him volley up, and then takes the pace off the second one. What a great combination.
Yeah, didn't give up any ground on the baseline. That ball was back at Botic so quickly. Well, he's really dug deep here towards the tail end of the second set as Alex Minaur, and he's been rewarded for his industry. Well, that's a good indication of how brightly the fire burns within. Such a great competitor. That will and desire to win. It's phenomenal.
There'll be a slight sense of loss from Minaur, or there would have been before that game, about how he did have a set and a break. And just let it slip a little bit. It contributed a tiny bit to that lead loss he had, or the lead that he had, and I should say the loss of the lead he had. But now he's back in control, you would think.
Got a rogue ball there.
Nothing like a rogue ball.
If we only play 2 games, we put a new ball in. If you don't want to play with it, we can play with 5 balls. Huh? It's up to you guys.
I guess a ball's gone missing, so a new one's had to be put in.
You wait.
And Alex sportingly has put the new ball aside as he serves for the set here.
That is sporting, because, Robbie, the new ball would probably react a little quicker and suit the server. Just a small nuance, but sometimes important.
Has he overthought that situation and trying to be a good sport? It's just the rule, right? It's not like he's requested the new ball. I'd like to get some input from you here as well, Rog.
Yeah, I think it's just a standard rule. Every player knows it, so it's play on, isn't it?
That's an Australian football term, Robbie. Play on.
His ability to hold the baseline is incredible. Oh, just get that ball back at Botic so quickly. I'll never forget what Andre Medvedev said, what it was like to play against Andre Agassi, who also took the ball so early. He said when you play against somebody who hits the ball early, it's like taking dictation from somebody who talks very quickly.
Let's...
And you say that, Robbie, but you know, for Botic, he has the weight of shot to actually push back. If you're a boxer, he could come and throw some. He could throw some blows that could take Alex, you know, to the ropes. But he doesn't want to play at that risk level.
Yeah, he's not feeling the ball on the strings today. His average ground stroke speed is definitely lower than what I've seen. From the opening set there, especially with the backhand, hasn't trusted that shot. The forehand's been hit and miss. One decent rally where he striped a couple in a row, but that's about it. And Alex has fought his way to 2 set points here.
I just wonder for Botic here, he's starting to show some negative body language, isn't he? And you can understand fighting hard for an hour and 30 and looking like going down 2 sets. Let's hope if that happens, let's hope he can maintain his level. Because sometimes players can mentally drop off if they lose a close second set to go down 2 sets to love.
Minaur seals the deal on his second set point after saving 2 earlier on in the set. And now he leads by 2 sets to love after bagging the second 7 games to 5. And it's a double whammy, isn't it? Saving 2 set points, you're feeling so good about yourself because you could have been a set all. Conversely, he's feeling terrible. 2 sets to love down versus being even Stevens.
He's not feeling good at all right now, and that's just human nature. You know, it's the nature of a competitor. Feels like he lost an opportunity, and now he's a long way back. And he's worked hard for an hour and a half, and still doesn't have his name on the scoreboard in terms of sets. So Minaur was good. Had a few unforced errors, but not as many as his opposition, and he had more winners too. So won most of those categories, didn't he?
He certainly did. Yeah. Unforced errors, excuse me, outnumbering the winners in the second set, unlike the first. Ace number 9, sending the Aussies into a frenzy as this man steers his ship to a 2-sets-to-love lead. What a competitor Alex de Minaur is. First time I got to see him was finals of Junior Wimbledon. He played Denis Shapovalov. And the firepower of Shapovalov was clearly evident way back then, but you could see that de Minaur had so many tricks in his bag. It just couldn't negate Denis on that particular day. So it was the 2016 Junior Wimbledon.
Where did those years go, Robbie?
It's amazing how quickly, right? 8 years ago now for de Minaur. Well, last year was a year in which he took his ranking to new heights. Broke into the top 10 right after the United Cup last year. Beautiful milestone, and has peaked in July at number 6 in the world as de Minaur. And who knows, I know there's a fair few people out there that feel that on a given day on a grass court, he can take down just about anybody, and so many were looking forward to his match against Novak after he beat Otto Fies in Wimbledon, but of course he injured himself in the match point. Novak got a walkover in the quarterfinals against the Demon. When the Zandschulp might have said he's got to change his shoes as well. So a full equipment change on the looks of things for the Dutchman. Demon having a quick chat to his coaching corner. So always a little bit of fine-tuning needed.
How have you seen his game, Alex, in these first 2 sets? What do you give him out of 10?
The first set was probably in the 9s. In the second set, 7.9.
Okay, Rog?
Yeah, I think definitely a 9 in the first set, and you know, he started off probably in the same vein, then sort of probably went into the 7 zones, and then I thought that he crept back up because the way he actually was able to reel it back in and find his way. So I'll probably go a 9 and an 8. Pretty happy with especially a first round of your major. I like what he's done.
Yeah, and you always got to take into consideration the opposition. And we know that Botic can be uncomfortable. We've seen him beat 2 top 10 players.
Time.
He's done one of those at a major, so de Minaur's done well. He's established a 2-sets-to-love lead.
Third set.
He's going to be tough to beat from here.
So what do you do from here? For me, it's I can offer the same, but I'm 2 sets to love down, so I've got to navigate that. The reality is, in 3 sets, I'm not going to get that done, so I probably need to redline a little bit more and suffer the consequences if I do make a few more unforced errors and I happen to lose this set 6-3. I'd rather see that.
I don't disagree, but sometimes when you tread that line, it is a fine line about hitting winners and making errors. He made 2 big ones, didn't he, in the previous game? But that was with the wind, like you said, Rash. So maybe from this end he can start that thought process and start trying to do it from there.
I guess I'm a bit more of a risk taker in the way I'd like to see the game played. So, yeah, some would say just stay the course. Hopefully, Alex comes off. He's not going to come off in this place.
Yes, Medvedev's racket from earlier today. That thing has been through the ringer. Came through in the end, good Daniil.
From the Zandschulp. First game, 5 seconds.
Took all of 5 sets to get the win. And that's what Van der Zandschulp's going to need to do if he wants to come out on top tonight. He has come back actually on 2 occasions from 2 sets to love down. Once at Roland Garros in 2021 against Hubie Hurkacz. That's some comeback. He also did it at the US Open that year against Carlos Taberna of Spain. So in the words of Ace Ventura, so you're telling me there's a chance?
That tells me a lot about you. A Jim Carrey thing.
Oh, I love good comedy. We were talking about one of our favourites before we came on here, Jerry Seinfeld. And your good friend as well.
Franklin Ajay. Yeah, lives in Melbourne.
And we send him our best, loves his tennis.
Yeah. Not just loves his tennis, he knows his tennis.
Even better.
Just missing the odd one, isn't he, there? Yeah, Franklin Ajay was in Deadwood. Can you remember that show?
Yes.
Yeah. Talented stand-up. Lives in Melbourne.
Sometimes I get referred to that way, Deadwood.
Don't be... No time for modesty now, Roger. You know, from a competitor's perspective here, De Minaur will be thinking, as long as I don't let this opponent get ahead of me in this 3rd set, that'll give him some positive thoughts about staying out here for a long time. If I can stay with him early. Sure, I like that drop shot, but it's easy in retrospect. Look, if I can stay with him early and not give him too many positive thoughts about staying out here for a long time, he might go away a little bit towards the end of this 3rd, but not sure that's a good way to structure a point. When a player gets to it at the top of the apex, you know you've probably made the wrong decision.
30-14. Juice.
Well, I think the bottom line is he's just winning more of those exchanges, isn't he? The talent of keeping the ball in, the speed of foot just adds up.
And as the rallies get extended, Alex can continually get his feet in the right spot, but it almost becomes a little fatigue for Botic.
Juice. Advantage, Minaur.
I mean, I thought for sure this is a clean winner. You can't see the guy and then suddenly he's there.
Okay, boys, I just want to throw something at you from the perspective of having one of the great returners currently in the game. Why doesn't the server just continually change the serving position so he gives a different perspective to the returner, to be the disruptor, because you're acknowledging how good this return is? Why doesn't that happen much? There's only a player that does that extensively, and I'll give you a couple of guesses. Robbie. In the men's game.
Yeah, Carlos does it a lot, doesn't he? Carlos Alcaraz.
Yeah.
You see him serve from very wide. Medvedev wasn't scared to do it either.
Yeah, and Hugo on there.
Yes, uses his leftiness very well.
Just will use the whole line, and so it continually gives the returner something different to look at instead of the great returners. They love the rhythm as well, don't they?
15-30.
Ooh.
30-14.
Uh-oh. Well, he saves a break point, and it was brave. He went straight to one of the best backhands in the world, sort of in the slot, didn't he, and serve and volleyed. So, like that ball didn't get over. Well, that's made his night. And I think everyone else's.
Well, this is one for the rocking chair years from now. Pure as you like. Boom! The second applause was for the replay on the big screen. Brilliant. It's the kind of firepower he does possess, but he's hardly used it this evening. But perhaps that moment of inspiration might get him on his way. 2-1. Let's take another look at the point that involved the tweener. I mean, he got far out of the court, he is, Fitzy. The racket head in perfect position, and the speed of the shot is what's got Demon.
Yeah, it's the speed of the shot. You have to create racket head speed here to get the speed on the ball. So he hammers it between the legs, not just blocks it. Ooh, that could have been nasty.
I'll tell you, Houdini's jealous.
Time.
That was awesome.
So was the reaction.
And that's a genuine appreciation. He likes it.
It's so disarming. And you can have a smile like that. It relaxes you. Oh, the boys can't believe it. Yeah, that was pretty darn good.
I mean, I thought Leighton Hewitt and those boys could have fired up a bit more than that. They were pretty sedate, weren't they?
They were. Yeah, Maddie Reid sitting alongside Leighton.
Good play from the Dutchman there. Saw that ball was going to give de Minaur some problems. He sneaks in, and that caused Alex, I think, to go for more angle. Clutch, wasn't it? That was a big moment to play a point at that level.
And just held his core position really strongly, Fitzy, as we know he likes to do. So the minute he gets a ball that's got a little bit of flight and a bit of height, he can take it on at the apex and fire it down the line.
You're not going to win that point too often. You hit that straight, you firm that ball straight into the forehand of an opponent that's this good. Normally you're going to wear it, and that was the case. Probably an act of desperation, really. I mean, he may well be running out of ways to... He feels he can attack de Minaur, but that one's probably not a good option.
left.
Coming up with different ways now to win points, isn't he? So I guess in a way, Roger, trying to do what you're suggesting, he's got to take a bit more risk and try out other avenues.
Yeah, 100%. I like it. Just see what the data gives you.
Van der Zandschulp.
It's more like it from Botic.
Leads by 3 games to 2.
Good stuff. 3-2, third set. It is the centerpiece of the sporting world in the month of January. This is where all eyes descend on the first major of the year. Melbourne Park, in all her splendor, welcomes the very best tennis players on the planet. And of course, plenty of spectators, Fitzy. Record crowds yesterday.
95,000 people plus yesterday. The biggest daily crowd in the history of this event. Last year they had close to 1.1 million in total that came through the gate. He's missed a couple here. Not the end of the world, I guess, when you're leading 2 sets to love, but it doesn't help. His favourite play. Twice lost him the point. Oh, big miss though, that's important.
50.
Love 30, second serve. That caused Fred to move in his chair a fraction.
It's a killer, that.
Yeah. Well, from his perspective, what a shame.
30.
An opportunity, love 30. Goodness me.
13-14.
Wow. This is what happened in the 6th game of the 2nd set when he got broken. Just played so many loose points.
probably wouldn't have surprised me if Alex had missed one of those forehands, because it looked like he was at the extreme here, flattening it out more than normal and going for more forward speed than normal as well. But he made about 4 in a row, and it finally won him the point. Gutsy effort. I think Botic there thinking, how did he keep those balls in?
Yeah, a couple of mishits, I think, is what he was suggesting. Certainly not up the middle. Perfection.
Yeah. A simple description, Robbie, but perfect yourself. How good?
Very.
Is that a heartbreaker for the Dutchman, because that hurts?
3 games or 3rd set.
Yeah, and it was the last game before the change of balls, and it was against hitting uphill, so the odds were stacked against him there on a couple of those big points. But as you said, Fitzy was coming out of his shoes at every occasion and wanting to either own just wanted to own the point on his terms. That was it.
New balls.
Got to be careful here. Hitting downwind with new balls, they'll fly a little bit further. I always think you have to shorten your sights a little bit if you're with the wind and new balls. They can fly on you.
The 15 all.
It's the only major Alex de Minaur hasn't made the quarterfinal in. 4th round here, 3 times.
That was a rally of rich quality.
In reality, when you think about trying to compete on a stage like this and know that this is the quality you have to come up with, and you still don't win a point, then it's a tough school.
Please be quiet between first and second serve. Thank you. Let's. Second serve.
Flirting with danger. Wow. I'm going to finish this point on my terms. What a way to save a break point.
Advantage on the Zandschulp.
Some good movement through the air on that second serve. Good away swinger. Some good, deep, heavy hitting from the Dutchman. Still not entirely happy. He does have a lead in the third. 4-3. Oh, that is filthy.
I'm assuming filthy is good.
Love 15.
Better than good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I know it's a bit of modern
lingo.
Modern lingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you also say nasty?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, good. How would you say that, Robbie? How would you say that with your accent? Nasty?
Oh, Lord.
That's just a beautiful thing, isn't it? That was the backhand 3 shots from the end that he just angled the racket, faded it off. This one. That was incredible, that shot. This was nearly as good, and so was this. Nasty.
Brilliant.
Convincing game there. He's not slowing up, is he?
4 games all.
As much as
third sets.
Van der Zandschulp is trying to break him down, he's standing firm, is Minaur. This is good stuff. There's a lot of high quality in this first round.
Love 15.
It's out of this world.
Yeah, wonderful tennis. Just eye-opening, really. What I like most about this is the racket control on this shot. He is off balance, almost turned inside out, and he knew where the racket face was to place that smash. Not at speed, just with placement into the corner. Clever, clever tennis.
That was such a big-time play and a big-time point from Minaur. suddenly he's got 3 breakpoint opportunities. And that single point alone, a major contributor to the break. And de Minaur after it will sit down and have a chance to serve for a place in the second round. Well, gentlemen, I'd like to hear from you both what you're scoring. De Minaur out of 10 for his first match at the first major of the year. Fitzy, I'll start with you.
8.5 off the top of my head.
Okay. What about you, Rog?
Maybe 8. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in between the 8 and 9 mark. I think he's done so many good things out here tonight against a quality opponent. There's no doubt about that. He's, you know, this isn't a person who allows you to play.
Yeah, I think his opponent tonight, Van der Zandschulp, he would have beaten a lot of players probably, and he may lose in straight sets here, so you've got to take that into account.
Time.
He's a quality player, and to beat him in straight, well, that is a very good evening. If indeed that happens.
So Alex de Minaur just one decent service game away from a spot in the second round.
Tell you what I do here. I appreciate and admire the resilience that Van der Zandschulp has shown here. He could have gone away. He hasn't. Even now, de Minaur serving for the match. He's still fighting. We've talked about Alex trying to pump up that serve of his over the last year or so. That's a pretty big second serve there, 161.
Two match points for the Demon.
Game, set the match, de Minaur. By Christoph Finland, 6-1, 7-5.
De Minaur safely through to the second round. It's 2 hours and 22 minutes of highly entertaining fare. Good all-court craft, as we've always come to expect from him. How do you like that, folks? De Minaur through and through, 6-1, 7-5, 6-4. A thought for Botic, Van der Zandschulp, Fitzy?
Well, I was impressed with a lot about him. You know, the first set he seemed to just not come out of the blocks quite quickly enough. But if he could take that scoreline away, it was almost anybody's match. He deserves applause. I think the Australian crowds appreciate someone who fights. And he's a talent. He's better than his ranking. I'll give him that by a long way. Not easy coming out here against an Australian on this stadium.
Somebody who is just such a great problem solver. You speak about him as a disruptor. And the Demon looks like he's going to have a chat with his good friend Johnny Mormon. Let's go courtside.
Well, this one's not actually a question for you. It's a question to this packed out Rod Laver Arena. How good is it to see Alex de Minaur? We love you here. Mate, you come here, you're the top Australian seed in this tournament, ranked number 8. You're one of the contenders. I thought maybe there's a bit of nerves. Absolutely nothing. You came out on fire. Talk us through that. You walk on the court, you're the top Australian. You look like so calm.
I'm glad I look that way. No, I mean, honestly, what gives me a sense of calm is knowing the amount of work I've put in behind the scenes, knowing that I've done everything in my power to be ready. So as I said before, I know as soon as I walk on this court, I know every single one of you guys has my back. So I'm going to do my best from the very first point to the last. And
now I know he's actually disappeared already, and he's a quiet achiever. He doesn't like the spotlight whatsoever, but your longtime coach, Adolfo Gutierrez, can you explain how important he is to you?
Yeah, words can't really describe how important he is to me. We've been together 15, 16 years already. He's seen me from a little squirmy kid to where we are right now, so it's incredibly special to be on this ride with him, and you know, here's to achieving bigger and better things together.
Also, here's to him staying around for the on-court interview. Now, last year you had an incredible 2024. You did pick up a little bit of an injury. It affected your movement. It was in your lower half of your body. I was looking for any signs of that today, but I think you put that to bed. You're back, bigger than ever, moving incredible. How does the body feel?
Oh, the body feels great. It's been a long time since it's felt this good, and I'm just more than anything relieved. I'm happy to move. I'm happy to slide around the court, burn my shoes. It's a good sign, that one.
Well, the shoes are burned. Finally, mate, Leighton Hewitt alluded to in the lead up to the Australian Open. Something happened in the off-season, pretty special. I haven't been on social media, but you had a big change in your life. What happened?
I don't know, what happened?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I nearly got knocked out by a massive ring in player dining.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. Yeah, look, 2024 was a special year, and it ended in the best possible way. So I'm very happy that happened. But saying that, she's playing right now, so I better get out there and watch.
Congratulations, Alex de Minaur. He's engaged, and we're recruiting her to be Australian.
Well, as we alluded to in commentary, Fitzy, it was a good year both on and off the courts for young Alex. Of course, getting engaged to Katie Bolter. That happened in the off-season. The wallet was a little bit lighter, given the size of the ring that I saw on the Brit's finger. Happy days. Life is good for the Demon. He's playing the best tennis of his career. He's in a good place as well, relationship-wise. He's got a good team around him. And as he suggested, perhaps 2025 might be the season where we have bigger and better things. Perhaps a Masters 1000 title, or who even knows, maybe a Grand Slam as well.
Well, he certainly puts in the work whenever he can. He doesn't shirk that, and that's why he's got miles in the legs. That's why he's a competitor at the top of the game, top of this sport. It's a relief, you know, as a fan of his, to know that he thinks his hip is back to normal. And if that's the case, well, he can have a run in an event like this. He can go deep. There's no doubt about that. His form already is good enough. And let's hope he just improves incrementally over the next few matches.
Yeah, next up for him, it'll be Tristan Boyer, who won in 5 sets. Fitzy against Federico Coria, the young American, who will give his best against Minaur.
Yeah, well, it's a section there that he can get through. It's winnable.
No question about that. And as he alluded to in the post-match interview with John Millman, he is well prepared, and he feels like he has trained away the doubts, in the words of the great Kobe Bryant. Well, the Demon was very good this evening. He was vaporizing forehands. He showed good all-court ability. The touch was genius on occasions. And boy, did he send the locals into a frenzy. That was a fun one to watch. Thanks to my co-commentators, John Fitzgerald and Roger Rashid. Let's do it soon. Thanks, Fitzy.
Thank you, Robbie.